powered up patch notes. To give a little bit of, I'm gonna not really read all the stuff here, like this part, but to give you kind of a summary, you got new stadium heroes, Sigma, Zen. We have map bands, updates across the board. Obviously, they have their, the Overwatch Academy, the 8-bit Sakura stuff here. If you play, you're going to get 4 loot boxes, and that guarantees 1 legendary, because when you get 4 loot boxes, it does that. New map atlas. Hacks and hijinks will be later on this season. If I'm correct on that one, we'll read about what hacks and hijinks is. And then, obviously, the reworks in the middle of the season. So, a lot of stuff coming out this season. You got the Diva Mythic, the Reaper Mythic at launch, a bunch of stuff. So, all right, so hero updates. Damage roll passive healing reduction increased from 25 to 30%. And the base health regeneration timer increased from 5 to 6. Developer comments say these changes are intended to broadly increase the impact of DPS heroes and slightly reduce the amount of heal and sustain felt in moment-to-moment gameplay. Because so now on tanks, it's 15% again. So you're at 15% healing reduction. Then on everybody else, it's 30%. So it's like one of these, like, I just need to see how it plays. All right, Junker Queen. Command and Shout. Junker Queen's overhealth was increased from 175 to 200. Allied overhealth increased from 50 to 75. Duration for self-reduced from 5 to 4. And allied duration increased from 3 to 4. So Junker Queen buffs. There you go. They buffed Command and Shout. Makes it a little bit better. That's a buff for regular Overwatch. And that's a buff for Stadium. Let's go, baby. Mauga. The Berserker passive overhealth conversion rate increased from 40 to 50%. As you know, they couldn't resist. It's been a while since they've managed to do any type of Mauga and Orisa changes. They needed to do something, and they did it in a way that probably won't make Mauga ridiculous, just a little bit better with the perk. Berserker's overhealth conversion has been reverted to restore some of Mauga's durability to a more balanced state following previous changes. I hope it doesn't make Mauga fully meta, but you never know. Ramatra, the major perk, the repair one, the healing per second increased from 50 to 75. It says... the repair healings per second has been, or nanite repairs healing per second has been increased to enhance its consistency and overall effectiveness during the short duration of Ravenous Vortex. They had to buff this because the other one is just so much better. Straight up. Like, the other one is so good for Ramatra. You do so much damage. You don't even need it to, like, grab anybody. It's so good. So... they're just trying to make this one much better. I'm probably still going to opt for the other perk, but maybe if your playstyle is a bit more safe, I could see it going this one. So, all right, Zarya. Damage dealt over time. Okay, so they buffed Zarya. Buff Zarya's perks. All right, Graviton Crush. Minor perk. Damage dealt over time increased from 30 to 40% of maximum health. And Spotter major perk. Movement speed increased from 15 to 25%. So, a lot of people were kind of asking for Zarya buffs in any way possible. So to pair this with Mauga's... I think the problem here is, again, I think it's okay to let some heroes just kind of be in a certain range. But at the same time, I don't remember what Zarya's perks are, so I just don't know if this is just buffs to make the other ones better. I just don't remember on the Zarya perks. I'll be real with you. I've been getting rolled by Zarya in Stadium, so I haven't been able to see it as much in Ranked. So, yep. All right, so that's all your tank stuff. So, I mean, I didn't expect too many tank changes to begin with. I kind of felt like the tank balance was fairly decent. You know, it's not going to be, you're not going to have every tank be S tier, but I don't even think it's an S tier tank right now, is there? Because Orisa's good, but I wouldn't say, like, if we compare it to, like, S tier Orisa, like, I think that scales down now from what it used to be, so. Anyway. Hazard? I mean, Hazard's good. Yeah, I guess, I mean, but Hazard's, like, also kind of... I feel like that's going to be also rank dependent a little bit too. All right, Bastion. We knew this was coming. Bastion's hitbox has been reduced by 10%. Bastion's survivability is impacted by the large size of the model. Oh, wait, sorry. Zarya said Spotter and Graviton Crush receives targeted buffs to improve their effectiveness and ensure they remain viable choices along the other perks. Okay, that makes sense. And then Bastion's survivability is impacted by the large size of his model. Despite his high health and armor pool, reducing his model and hit volume size by 10% improves his ability to avoid damage and overall balance. See how it goes? It's just to make him a little bit better. Echo, spread decrease from 1.4 to 1.1 on the tri-shot, so makes it a little bit easier. Reducing the spread of Echo's tri-shot improves its effectiveness at range, making it a more consistent option for a highly mobile hero. Are they going to buff flyers now? Is, like, Pharah going to get an adjustment? Okay, Pharah. Shield health regeneration triggers when landing direct hits with rockets. That's fine for Helix shields. So yeah, looks like they didn't nerf Freya. Okay, Hellfire shotguns. Primary fire damage per pellet increased from 5.4 to 5.75. Part of the reason heroes like Reaper and Tracer had their damage reduced in the past was due to the shift to the 5v5 format. Solo tanking and less frequent peeling made flanking heroes more effective, along with their strong performance on certain maps and game modes like Push and Flashpoint. This is now less of a concern with the introduction of map bonus and hero bans, which help limit overperformance, so we're restoring some of their damage potency. So, Reaper's buffed, so that's going to be good for both Stadium and regular ranked, but Reaper can get overtuned really fast in some ranks. We'll see what happens. Soldier, on PC platforms, the Stimpak default button changed to equip weapon 1. Okay, so just like a change there. So yeah, no Sojourn changes or Freya changes. I'm surprised. I think they could have just they could have nerfed like a second on Freya and people would have been like, okay, all right. Tracer, damage increased from 5.5 to 6. I get it now. I know what they're doing. So their vision is that if Freya is an issue in the top level, you buff Tracer to force comps, but isn't that just going to be Freya Tracer now? Rather than anything else? Right? Because we're already seeing Freya Tracer. So is this going to be, like, I think their vision was, if we buff Tracer, that will reduce the snipers, but I think teams are just going to run Sojourn Tracer, and then if they ban Tracer, which they will initially, they'll just run Sojourn Freya, so you'll run into the same loop, right? It all leads back to that. So we'll see. We'll see. I could be wrong. I mean, honestly, like, it's hard to predict some of the meta changes, so. And then Venture's the last one here. Smart Excavator. The primary fire had the recovery time reduced from 0.7 to 0.6. I'll read the Tracer developer comment now. Similar to Reaper, Tracer's getting back some of the damage she lost due to past format and map concerns. Looks like she's recalled back to stronger bullets again. You combine this with the DPS passive. This is going to be interesting. Okay. And then Venture, they say this change improves Venture's damage output by increasing fire rate and enhancing weapon consistency without increasing the lethality of their combo. So Venture's a little bit better if you like playing Venture. So it seems like they're trying to see if they can force some of these comps. We'll see. All right. And then your support changes. Life Weaver. Cleanse and Grasp. The life grip cooldown is reduced by 4 seconds if a debuff is cleansed. So they just buff that. Successfully cleansing a debuff now reduces life grip's cooldown, improving the usefulness of a Cleanse and Grasp when timed well. So they buffed Life Weaver. Oh, I can't wait for Stadium. Crossfade ability. Base healing increased from 16 to 20 health per second. You know, listen, this is going to be good for core Overwatch, but for Stadium, oh boy. Let's go. The boop build is still good. Lucio plays a unique role within the support lineup, offering strong mobility and team utility. However, his healing output has been lagging behind other supports, especially with the increase in hero health pools. This change makes his passive healing more impactful and better aligned with the other support heroes. Yeah, more boop in the air. Exactly. I can't wait. Sammy, thanks for the 38 months of the Prime sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks. Moira. Healing per second increased from 70 to 80. Oh, boy. We wanted to boost Moira's overall healing output as she doesn't offer as much direct utility compared to other support heroes. And we're reducing some healing impact in this patch through the damage roll passive. We're happy with the cadence of managing her healing resource and swapping to damage to restore it, so we opted to adjust the direct healing rather than the resource availability or a similar mechanic. So you got a healing buff on Moira, you got a healing buff on Lucio. I wouldn't doubt it, Chad, if that you might see Brawl comps come back actually for like meta stuff. Now, maybe that's why they didn't do the Freya and Sojourn, because Brawl might be so effective. That's what I read there. Anyway, and then Zenyatta. Duality increased converted damage from 30 to 40% on the perk. Duality has struggled due to the number of conditions required for activation, increasing the converted damage, improves its effectiveness when those conditions are met. So we'll see how that plays. So there you go. There's your balance. Again, I don't really expect a ton of balance shifts recently because the game has started to come like to a point where they've gotten a lot of heroes playable. I am concerned about a couple things, especially like it's rank by rank. So like Tracer might be an issue in top 500, may not be an issue in some ranks. But then at the same time, you do the flip side of that. Reaper might get a lot better in some ranks while not in other ranks. So it's going to be interesting to see where that goes. Here's the good news, regardless of how this affects the meta, the shift, the changes, etc. Regardless of any of that, they've shown recently that if something just isn't working right away, they'll go and make a change pretty quickly. Okay, stadium updates. Competitive ranks have been reset with everyone starting at Rookie 1. Players who reach Epic for the first time can earn the Epic Elite Orisa skin. Players who reach it for the first time can... Oh, you can still earn the... Okay, if you haven't hit Elite yet, you can still earn all of the previous Elite skins. Like the Orisa, the Genji, the Moira skin. So if somebody asked about that earlier, you're good there. Then, you can also now, if you reach All-Star, you can get a Legendary All-Star Mercy skin and the Juno skin if you haven't hit that rank yet. So if you were worried about that being an issue, you can still hit those ranks and you should be fine, okay? So like that, it will still be a thing. All right, so for anybody that knows, Stadium is adding Sigma, Junkrat, and Zenyatta. New heroes. You got new Stadium maps, Esperanza as a push, and Samoa Volcano as a new control one. So looking forward to 2 new maps. That's going to spice it up even more. I'm excited to try out the new builds. Don't you worry if you want to know if we're going to look for builds. My goal was to find a build on every hero that you can use this season in Stadium. Maybe 2. It could be up to 40 videos. So ambitious, but I think we can do it. Introducing Stadium builds. This is something I'm not gonna like read all of this, but basically this is the forge they're adding. You can share builds with friends. You can save builds. You can go into replay viewer and grab a build from a game. Basically, build sharing is now in Overwatch for Stadium. All my videos will have the build that we're doing in the stuff too, so you're gonna have all of that there, okay? And you have example builds have been added for all 21 heroes, new ones. They've expanded the example builds to 12, and they now have early, late, and flex categories. Obviously, I can put information here. I'll show all of that a little bit later from now, okay? Where's the practice range? I don't know, to be honest with you. I think maybe there was an issue or something. Custom games. Stadium officially has custom games, chat. If we don't get an Overwatch tournament this season, I'm going to do absolutely nothing about it. But honestly, they really should take advantage of the popularity of Stadium and do some type of tournament at this point. Every time I watch OWCS, people are like, oh, are they going to do something for Stadium? That'd be awesome. This is the time to try this stuff out now with custom games. I hope they do. I hope they do like a one-off, whether it's a Twitch Rivals or like a community ran one. There needs to be some... I think it's a good time to do that. I hope they're... Especially during like what's considered filler season, which is... I mean, this season still has a lot of stuff. This is a perfect opportunity to do that. So I hope that they're going to do something like that. Drives now are in Season 17 for Stadium, so if you felt like drives were a bit annoying this past season, if you are a Stadium enjoyer or you want a more casual, competitive experience, drives are now in Stadium at the end of this season. So you're good there, okay? Okay, ranked updates. Reduce the size of the Pro, All-Star, and Legend ranked progress bands. I don't know what that's going to look like, but sure. All right, Stadium hero updates. So we're going to go to Stadium now. Tank! Mecha Punch Power booster eliminations also reset the cooldowns of boosters? Oh, if you get like a booster elimination. And then during boosters, Quick Melee now gains 50% attack speed instead of 75%. So they nerfed it a little bit for the Melee build. But the Melee build was very strong. And then added the booster one. So let's read the rest here. Dazed Detonator, rare ability hero item, now show danger warning signs to the enemy if the enemy was in the blast radius and decrease the radius. So they nerfed... Oh, okay. During boosters, Quick Melee now gains attack speed. So they changed that. I don't know how... They changed this... Okay, yeah. Did they just, like, make it worse? And then Nano Cola increased the health stat to 50, and then remove the stat health increase by 5%. So they nerfed... These are all nerfs, aren't they? Or am I just losing it? Maybe there's more to it. Okay. They say, after a full season of play, it's clear that D.Va isn't standing out as a top-tier tank pick in the current meta. While this update focuses on improving clarity and consistency, we're keeping a close eye on her performance and have additional changes planned to help her hold her own against the fierce competition in Stadium. Oh, so they're saying that they nerf D.Va for now, but then we'll pay attention to stuff later on? And then buff her later? Is that what I'm getting? So they're buffing D.Va, but not yet. But I guess, like, before we get down this list, chat, let me just point one thing out here. If Zarya's nerfed in any way, this is still probably okay. But if Zarya is the same, then that's the problem. Because right now, I have seen D.Va do well against everything but Zarya. But then if Zarya is still the same, that's where the problem lies. So we'll see. Junker Queen. Let's go wind power. Decrease the cooldown reduction to 50%, down from 100. Oh. Well, that build's boring now. It's not boring. I'm just being a baby. And why do my builds get nerfed? And cut him, Gracie. Increase the reduction on the cooldown to 2 enemies per hit, up from 1. Or to 2 seconds per enemy hit. So it's a little bit better. Okay, it says the Shout and Shop has proven to be a highly effective combo for Junker Queen, often giving her a bit too much reliability in close-range engagements. This change is a first step towards dialing back that effectiveness, while still preserving the aggressive playstyle that makes her so satisfying to play. So they nerfed the Shout build, basically. All right, Orisa. They buffed Siphonic Spear, and they added a 5% cooldown reduction to Arc Finder. These 2 items have been underperforming, lacking the stat needed to be more impactful. Which is crazy, because some of the D.Va items have that same feel, by the way. Where, like, it feels like the items give you something, but they don't give you enough in comparison to other heroes. Right? So maybe that's a part of the next D.Va buffs, is giving D.Va, like, some of those items that feel almost like a waste at times, because, like, you have to give up so many stats while everybody else can just be like, weapon power! You know? So. All right. Yeah, Riss is very tanky in Stadium. All right, Reinhardt. Okay. Impact Burst Power now only damages other enemies around primary target. Explosion damage increased to 30% of Fire Strike damage, up to 15%. Trail of Lava now triggers on every second Fire Strike instead of every second Fire Strike. In 2 seconds. Okay, so it's a little bit different. Okay. Chimera's Maw, or Chimera's... I always get that... Why do I even try to pronounce that? Because I mispronounce every time. So I'm like, oh, you didn't say that right. I know. I just forget every time. I'm sorry. All right. Rarity changed to Epic from Rare. Added 25% Fire Strike projectile speed. Added for each additional enemy Fire Strike damage beyond the initial target. Reduced Fire Strike cooldown by 5%. I think this is a buff. Rocket Strike, they removed that item. Wilhelm, the really good item, changed to Epic Survival. Added 50 armor. 1100 cost. Removed you heal for 5% of the damage it mitigates. That's nerfed, right? Infusion Generator, changed to Power. Barrier Field Health increase now only increases from bonus max life. Barrier Field Health scaling increased to 250%, up from 100%. So, developer comments say, we're shifting some power in the Fire Strike build to focus more on higher uptime of Fire Strike and Magma Strike's Trail of Lava, while pulling back from the high single target burst that Impact Burst enabled. We're also making some adjustments to Reinhardt's Barrier build to make it a more compelling option and have a smoother progression curve. You know what I'd say? I would say it's like they're doing some nerfs, some buffs, and I think it seems like they're trying to shift items to change your builds. They want to make it so like you have to... The build path is a little bit different. All right, Sigma. They added Sigma to the Stadium roster. We're going to go through the powers pretty quickly. We're going to do a whole video and try to come up with builds. So Zero Gravity Power, when you use an ability, gain the ability to fly for 2.5 seconds. That one's okay. Hyperloop. Hyperspheres direct hits reduce the cooldown of accretion by 0.5. That could be a fun one. Is it Trinosphere? Your primary fire launches a third Hypersphere that deals 50% reduced damage. That's going to be good. Event Horizon, damage absorbed by kinetic grasp also restores experimental barriers health. Excess is converted to overhealth. That's going to be a sleeper power. Symphonic, I'm not trying to read this word. When kinetic grasp ends, for every 100 damage absorbed, gain 10% attack speed for 4 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. Interesting. Don't know if I'll do that yet. Could be a good kinetic grasp build. Orbital Barrier Power, get a mini experimental barrier that orbits you. It has 50% reduced health. That one's fun because if you build into that. Philharmonic Fortitude Power. Experimental Barrier has 25% increased max health. Barrier health regenerates constantly, but 50% slower while deployed. Mass Driver Power. Accretion projectiles that pass through Experimental Barrier gain 300% increased projectile speed and deal 20%. These are both good. 20% increased damage. So there are a lot of powers to try here. Singularity. Accretion splash damage is increased by 25% and enemies are pulled towards this explosion. Oh, that one's going to be annoying. I can't wait. Maestro, 50% ultimate cost reduction. Graviton flux radius is reduced by 50%. Could be a fun one, though. There's a lot of alts, and like with how stacked that is, that could be good. The alignment one here, when you use an ability, create 2 hyperspheres that orbit around you. Orbit and hyperspheres deal 50% reducing damage. It's kind of like, almost like, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of like Thorns in World of Warcraft. Astrophysical, Quick melee causes enemy hits to levitate into the air. I like that one in regular Overwatch, like in core. Velocity vector is an item, 10% attack speed, 15% hypersphere. Actually, we'll look at the items later. All these items I'll look at and we'll go over stuff later, but a lot of cool items here. That way I'm not like sitting here forever. All right, Zarya. Energy passive. Each barrier can only grant a maximum of 45 energy regardless of barrier health. Okay. Barrier benefits power increase over health based on remaining power health to up to 100%, up from 50. Duration reduced to 2 seconds. So this is kind of like buffed. Containment shield power. Remove barrier heals 20 life increased by energy. Added barrier heals target for 5% of your maximum life. Okay. That seems kind of good, actually. 5% of maximum life. That's not a buff. Oh, okay. Fission field, unless I'm... Added 25% reduced maximum energy gain. Life lift. Bonus max life increase not only increases for max life added from items. Okay. Increases barrier health scale into 50% of your bonus max life from items. Up to 20%. Maximum energy decreased to 125 on no limits. That's a nerf. Volskaya. This is the one that's really powerful. Fix an issue where the vortex... From Volskaya Vortex didn't grant out. Oh, no. That's going to do a lot of damage because that build is very strong. So I know they'd reduce the damage, but I'm concerned on where this will go for grabs. So damage reduced from 80. I think this might be a buff overall, though, not from the damage point of view, but from the ability to, like, we'll see. I thought that was a feature, too, because it made sense, right? Because... Like, you would basically put them in the vortex and you wouldn't get quick grabs. I'm concerned about quick grabs. We'll see. We'll see. Again, this is on paper. Sometimes when I read patch notes, they seem really strong, and then I go play against them, and they aren't a big deal. Don't worry. If Zarya is still strong, chat, you'll probably hear it from me about 100 times. Because that's when I'll go into big baby mode. I'll be like, oh, man, I want to play against Zarya. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm just saying. We'll see. Because they increased the item on Bigger Beam to 12,000 from 11,000, so that will help with a little bit of change. Superconductor, they removed the increased barrier duration. Okay. After particle barrier is destroyed or expires, gain decay and overhealth. That's a good change. That's good for the item. And then Link's data drive. Using protected barrier on an ally refunds 20% of the cooldown. Restore your life equal to 30% of damage mitigated by projected barrier. Okay, this is good. These are good. These item changes, chat, are good to shifting it elsewhere and not making it as ridiculous. This one right here, especially Link's data drive, this one was an issue because you couldn't track bubbles anymore. It was really, really hard to be able to track ultimates, and this was the problem. Okay, so next up is Ashe. We got a nerf, chat, to Bob Jr. Decreased duration to 10 seconds, down from 20. Can I be honest with you? That's a good change. Baby Bob was ridiculous. Baby Bob was ridiculous. So that was a very, very, very good change. So 10 seconds is good. Reload therapy no longer generates currency. Okay, on the power. What one's that one? I forgot. And Silver Spurs. Rare survival hero item. Increase the duration to 5 seconds and now reloads 25% maximum ammo on coach gun use. Ooh, that's kind of fun for the coach gun build. Wait, that's really good for the coach gun build. Because I can kind of rotate ammo. That's interesting. Okay, Cassidy. Fan the hammer secondary fire. Only in the stadium mode after the 6-shot weapon spread is increased. That's good. Can I be honest with you? I don't think right-click became an issue after a while. It's a good change, but the left-click's the problem. But I agree from an overall change, this is good. Making the right-click worse is good for this mode. But I do want to point out the left-click is the real strength of this build now. Dead Man Walking Power bonus ammo is now gained on critical final blow. An added max cap of bonus ammo set to 4. Okay. Just roll with it power. Decreased damage reduction to 25%, down from 50. Total damage reduction is now 75% during the combat roll. So they nerfed just roll with it, which is one of the go-to powers. So that's pretty good. All right. So Cassidy's roll into the Fan the Hammer playstyle was always intended as close-range burst option, but in practice, it was punishing enemies from ranges where they had little chance to respond. This adjustment refocuses that combo towards close quarters encounters where its high-risk, high-reward nature can shine without creating frustrations at a distance. Yeah, this hero is still going to be good, even with the right-click, because this game is so brawl-based that... Okay, we'll see. Again, we'll see. Freya. So this is where we'll probably see the nerfs. Increase cash income from damage and healing by 13.3%. And then the little one, they increase damage to 50% reduced damage, up from 60% reduced damage. Added 25% reduced radius on bola shot fired by Lily. I don't know how to say it. The visual effects reduced to reduce visual noise of bola shot. And updated the tooltip to reflect earlier changes. Added 5% weapon power, and the bonus cash on eliminating a target with a bounty of 750 or more increased to 350. So they're trying to give Freya more cash. Freya has been struggling in Stadium since her nerfs in the core game combined with the Stadium hotfix nerfs. We're increasing her cash gain to help be more on par with other DPS in Stadium and buffing Hunter's Mark to make it more reliable option when behind. We're dialing back the visual noise to further reduce the frustration surrounding the power. That's good. I like that. While increasing the damage to make it a more viable option. So Freya's kind of buffed, basically. I do like the visual change to that. That was very jarring. Genji. Hidden Blade Power reduced quick melee damage down to 15 from 25. Good change. Increased melee lifesteal to 60%. Good. I'm glad they adjusted that a little bit. Ambush's optics increased to 11,000. So they're just nerfing the melee build a little bit. Laceration increased damage over time to 35%, up from 25 from Swift Strike, and then fixed an issue where it did not benefit from ability lifesteal. So good change there. Kind of puts power elsewhere. And then Clean Sweep increased the ability power to 15%. So melee Genji builds have become very prominent, which is awesome. However, the bursty backstab build is a bit too consistent and can feel hard to interact with. We're reducing the damage ceiling for this build, but upping its sustain to compensate. We're also adding a little bit more power to the ability power Swift Strike build to make its key pieces feel a bit more impactful early on in the match. We'll be looking at making a larger set of changes to Genji in a future update. So, Genji nerfs, the melee build was the problem. That's good. Junkrat. Oh, okay. I'm gonna read the powers, not the items, okay? We're gonna go pretty quick through this. Junkrat. 2 frag, 2 furious. Frag launcher has a 25% chance to shoot an additional projectile that deals 66% reduced damage. Big Bang. When a frag launcher bounces, its projectile size increases by 33%. Oh, I saw that it was spelled that way. I just kind of went with it. Suit Shaker, after detonating Concussion Mine, gained 15% increased attack speed for 1.5 and refunds 20% max ammo. Bango, the launcher direct hits without bounce and burn for 20% extra damage over 2 seconds. Bingo, power, I love that, Bingo. Frag launcher direct hits without bounce and reduces the cooldown of all abilities by 25%. Okay, that's pretty good. That's going to be kind of interesting. It's another trap. Gain 1 additional charge of the steel trap. Trap 2, Esquire, after Concussion Mine has landed for 0.5 seconds. Detonating it will spawn a mini steel trap that slows instead of immobilizing. Slapnel. Quick melee explode for up to 100% quick melee damage, knocking you in nearby enemies back. That's going to be funny to see. Hop, boom. After launching yourself Concussion Mine, detonate a Concussion Mine wherever you land with 50% reduced effectiveness. Rain and Lead. After launching yourself, drop 1 total Mayhem Bomb with 25% reduced damage every 0.4 seconds. While you were airborne, Gotcha Bomb. 20% total Mayhem explosion radius. Total Mayhem creates a random number of additional bombs. Okay, that was a sentence. Rip Roll. 20% ultimate cost reduction. During your ultimate, enter your Rip Tire. Launch out when it's destroyed or triggered. Okay, we'll see how that goes. I don't know what to expect. And then a bunch of items. So we'll look at all those later. May. Avalanche power has been removed. That's it. Cold Blaster, a new power. Endothermic Blaster's primary fire does 20% increased damage to enemies within Blizzard. And then Permafrost power increases May size by 15% when above 30% ability power. And then Himalayan Hat, increase attack speed to 15%. So a couple of... Wait. Increases May's size by 15% when above 30%? Isn't that a nerf? I don't know. I'll read the developer comment here. I'll get to the May one here, and then we'll go. While Avalanche was doing its job, it's often created confusion for enemies where many couldn't clearly understand why they were being slowed or where the effect was coming from. We're shifting the focus of the power to enhance May's primary fire, giving her more burst potential and rewarding players who can cage the enemy with a mini blizzard or a blizzard. This should make the power feel more intuitive and impactful for both May and her opponents. So just making it a better experience. Okay, fair enough. Reaper, Strangle Step power, now also has 30% Shadow Step cast speed. That's kind of cool, really quick. Wraith Renewal, reduced healing to 7%, down from 10%. The Reapin, hero base passive, health restored from lifesteal granted by the Reapin was unintentionally granted Stadium Cash, so kind of a Stadium Cash nerf. And then some Night Creeper, they moved it to rare, no longer has 30%. Okay, so they just put that there. And then now provides 5% weapon power, move speed, and after using an ability, nearby enemies are revealed for up to 3 seconds. That's kind of a good item, actually, for being 3750. That's kind of intriguing. Crowd control also got moved to rare. They replaced the ability power stat with the 10% ability lifesteal. Now grants 4% ability power per target, down from 5. And then cost is 4,000. Fixed a bug where the effect of this item was not affecting Death Step Blossoms. Okay, so there you go. Wreath of Ruin, fixed a bug where the move speed increase was not affecting Death Blossoms. Okay. Crimson Cloak, move from survival item to ability. Change to when Death Blossom starts, gain over health equal to 5% of your max life for each enemy within its range. Reduce cost. Devastation, replace the lifesteal with 25 HP. Reduce the cap to 75 health instead of 100 and reduce the cost. Soldier, frontline power over health. Oh, actually, Reaper says... They said for Reaper, this update to Reaper is primarily looking at making ability power Reaper a bit more reliable in the early and mid rounds. We're reorganizing where some of the power of the build lies, as well as fixing a few interactions that were not quite working correctly. We'll be keeping a close eye on this build as it has high snowball potential. When it works, we're also reducing the power of Wraith Renewal as it has been a consistent high performer in terms of survivability and cash gain. Okay, down to Soldier. Frontline power. Overhealth now stacks when multiple biotic fields are active at once. Overhealth based on max life reduced to 25%. Frontliners continues to be one of Soldier's 76 least popular options. We're allowing the overhealth to stack to enable more synergies with the powers that create additional biotic fields to allow more future build paths. I'm loving all the new build paths because this allows me to make some more fun videos. Also, Aboriginal, thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. On to support. Ana, double dosage, rare ability hero item, redesigned to work on enemies, only up to 30%, does not stack. And then decrease cooldown to 30%. Double dosage was originally designed to support aggressive plays. We've redesigned to make it better servant as a forward-facing tool rewarding players who take initiative and engage in with the enemy. Juno, evasive glide hero item removed. Lock-on shield, rare survival item, hero item. Change item category to survival. Change the item stat from 10% ability power to 25% health. Decreased over health to 25% down from 50. Boosted rockets. Change the item from rare to epic. Changed the item price from 4,000 to 12,000 and updated the item during glide boost, gained 10% damage reduction. And then medicinal powers removed additional 30 healing. Juno had a standout performance last season with pulsars delivering consistently high impact. For this season, we're making targeted adjustments to slightly lower its peak output while opening up more room for build variety. The goal is to preserve her strength while encouraging a broader range of viable playstyles. I mean, I see this and I still think that it will still be a good one, but we'll see. Kiriko. Soothing Step, increased healing to 120 up from 80. Replace the stat, 10% ability power to 10% cooldown reduction. Wait, they added more cooldown reduction? Okay. Triple threat, power, spread reduced by 50%. And self-care redesigned. When you use heal and Ofuda, each Ofuda throws heals. Throwing heals you for 3% of max life. Isn't this just like a buff to... Isn't the clone build still going to be really good? Like, I feel like this doesn't address any of the clone nerf. Like, I feel like that's been my one concern, is it feels like some of the builds have even gotten better, or like even like Zarya might be better because of the... Okay, we'll see. I gotta finish the whole patch notes. Maybe there's more like it. Soothing Step was designed to be a core part of Kiriko's ability power focus build, enabling her to serve as a highly mobile healer. This update brings it more in line with other build options while reinforcing her role as a capable burst healer in fast-paced fights. Additionally, self-care has been redesigned both to address a bug and to make it healing more accurately to reflect heroes' healing output. Okay. Lucio, Crowd Pleaser, my favorite ability. Healing adjusted from 100% of crossfade healing to 20% healing that is doubled while Amp It Up is active. And the Vivace power, sorry if I said that wrong, while you're wall riding, Soundwave cooldown refreshes 25% faster and adds 1 max ammo every 1 second until you reload. Added... Every 1 second is wall riding, you gain move speed and 1.5 attack speed for 5 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. And then Sonic Boom Power healing now also triggers on quick melee damage. Due to the buff to Lucio's crossfade healing in the core game, we're decoupling Crowd Pleaser healing from crossfade. This will make Crowd Pleaser feel more impactful when outside of Amp It Up, while ensuring that the healing during Amp It Up is within bounds. We're also reworking the other one to have a more specialized niche, as well as buffing Sonic Boom to enable more build options. I get what they're doing. Okay, we'll see how it is. I mean, I like that. I like Crowd Pleaser, so hopefully it doesn't make the build bad. Okay, Zenyatta. is the last hero on these changes here, chat. So we'll read the powers very quickly for Zen, and then we're finally done with the patch notes. Flying kick while airborne. Quick melee becomes a dash kick that stuns it if it knocks an enemy back into a wall. It's Orbin time. Orb of Destruction secondary fire can charge up to 3 additional orbs. Oh no. Seek and Salvation. Orb of Destruction secondary fire projectiles home when aimed at a target below 35% life. Oh no. Enlightenment power. Allies affected by Harmony Orb are healed for 35% of the damage you deal. I like that one. Dual Harmony. Gain a second Harmony Orb, but they both heal 45% less. That could be fun. Gotta have faith. Harmony Orb targets can be out of your line of sight for 5 seconds longer before it returns to you. That's a good one. Inner Peace. Gain a Harmony Orb that is always attached to you. It heals for 75% less. That could be fun. Discord Inferno. I see what you did here, Dylan. When you critically hit a target affected by your Discord Orb, the Orb of Destruction explodes, dealing AP damage. That's interesting, too. That'll be funny to see where that goes. Disco Fever. When Discord Orb is applied to a target, they take AP 50 damage over 5 seconds to the enemy. Instant Karma power. When a target of your Discord Orb damages you, restore 30% of that of damage over 2 seconds. Okay. Circle of Strife power. While using Transcendence, apply Discord Orb to all enemies. Oh, great. I mean, that makes Transcendence finally good. Soul Control power. Transcendence can be canceled early, saving up to 65% of your ult charge. I like that one. That's kind of cool. So there you go. I won't look at the items, chat. We'll look at those later. There's a lot to read there. Armory, they added a new item that is basically a epic general weapon item. Weapon hits to airborne enemies deal 25% bonus damage over 3 seconds. So there's a good of a dealing with flyers. Overdrive Core. I'm not going to read all of the specific numbers. Once per life, if you take damage, that would reduce you below 30% max life. You first gain 300 decay and overheal. So that's a way to almost like a survivability. So Sonic Recharge. Passive life regeneration can overheal up to 75 with a bit of ability power. I like that for Epic General. Vitality Amplifier. While you are above 80% life, gain 10% ability power. That's kind of fun. That might be good for the Lucio build. I like that. Emergency Chip. 5% weapon power. It's like a new item for weapons. While you are below 150 life, you gain 15% weapon lifesteal. Okay. I like that they added new items. I wanted new items. I'm happy with that. Electrolytes cost reduced to 1,000. Iron Eyes cost reduced to 4,000. That's good against melee builds. Salvage Slug reduced. Cushion Pattern reduced. BioLite Overflow increased. Divine Intervention, life restored from taking more than 100 damage, increased to 20%, up from 15. The following now triggers on ability, use effects, and Yada's Flying Kick, May Snowball, Flight, and Ada's Dash Boots. And to follow this all up, chat, developer comments, we're adding additional general items to help combat flyers, such as Freya and Mercy, and give more survivability options to damage-centric builds, particularly against high amounts of burst. We're also buffing some of the situational itemization to lower the opportunity cost of purchasing them. So there you go. There's all your changes, a lot of them. I'm excited to try them out. We'll see where they go. Bug fixes. Fix an issue where the matchmaker would often backfill players into matches that were not near the MMR and causing the match to become imbalanced. That's a good bug fix. So map voting. Map voting is a new feature that gives players more agency about what map they would prefer to play on. At the start of every quick player competitive match, 3 randomly selected maps will appear, and each player will cast a single vote on the map they want to play King's Row. DC Sauce, thanks for the 19 months of the Prime sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. During the map voting phase, all text and voice channels to both teammates and opponents are disabled, so very much like map bans. Votes from each map from all players and then displayed in the game will now roll. We've kind of seen this before. Maps with more votes are more likely to be selected, but maps with less votes can still be selected if the roll lands on one of the votes for the map with less votes. So you're basically rolling the die on that one. So these patch notes are kind of wrong. Sorry. Are they? Okay, I will stop with that one right there. You can communicate with teammates. Okay, you can communicate with teammates. Okay, so you can communicate with your teammates. Also, Todd, thanks for the 43 months of the Prime sub, and BRN, thanks for the 2 months of that Prime sub, so you can communicate with your teammates. Okay, the report tool. A new report category called Emergency is now added to the report tool and can be accessed in all areas you can report a player except for the quick select report button in the scoreboard. Whoever's running that side of the report is really going to enjoy when they put when they get the emergency report that says my teammate picked the hero I didn't like them to pick. That's going to be interesting. Obviously they need this in the game, but I'm just saying I can see people. Yeah, you can then report instances of social communication that implies a threat of extreme harm to another person or a group of persons, which is good. Like I said, having this option here is good. Hopefully people don't abuse using this to just be like my report about my player not playing the right hero is right here. So hopefully they use it the way that's supposed to be used and not like just, you know what I mean? Oh, wait. False reporting other players using these categories may result in actions issued on the reporting player's account. Please remember to abide by the Blizzard in-game code of conduct, including... Okay, so they're saying, do not use this system to say that your teammate is not playing the hero that you don't want them on. They're saying you can get banned for that, is what they're saying. Games Holy, thanks for the 100 bits. Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks. So there you go. They're letting you know. They're saying don't use it that way. Player endorsements. Endorsement scoring has been updated to be more dynamic and to improve the accuracy of the system. With the goal of making endorsement level feel more earned, endorsement level should feel like a better measure of positivity, sportsmanship, and teamwork once the system has had some time to adjust to the new scoring. Oh, man. See, the problem is that, like, will that still affect top 500? Because the problem we run into with top 500 is we see the same players, so we just run out of time. The scoring system now considers a variety of circumstances when players endorse each other, such as given bonus score in situations players rarely endorse, like endorsing an enemy on a loss. Players that never endorse others will cause much less decay for their allies. We'd like players that want to ignore the system to also be ignored by the system. Okay. These scoring updates may cause endorsement levels to be more volatile in the short term, so we'll be watching these changes carefully and tuning the dynamic scoring as needed. Okay. Should be interesting. Don't know. Did I miss something? I'm sorry if I missed something. Okay. Streamer Protect. Hide my name now rotates to a different fake battle tag every match. Oh, you should have a solution for that in a little while. Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Gavin. And then a new option in Streamer Protect and the advanced options will now block licensed music from playing in order to prevent the risk of copyright claims. Finally, chat, one of the reasons anytime they do a collab where there's any like type of copyright, I had to turn the music off in game and completely mute all my sounds because I would get copyright strikes. Like I would legit just like my YouTube VOD demonetized every time. If I even played the menu for 15 seconds, it would demonetize my stuff. And that's how it works. So, whew, glad they got rid of that finally. Oh, because we have many collabs that have caused that. So, oh yeah, I still get rolled by the OWCS streams. That part I can't do anything about. That's why I can't stream on YouTube sometimes when I'm watching OWCS, because all their music just, every like time I stop my stream after an OWCS one, it's like, yep, sorry, you're that's it. I get rolled by OWCS every time with that. So sometimes I can't even stream it on YouTube because of it. Okay. Anyway, hero updates. All right. So Molly, thanks for the 15 months of the tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm expecting Freya nerfs because, like I said, like Freya's been dominant. Maybe Sojourn, because if they nerf Freya, then you have to nerf Sojourn. We'll see what they have. Cool. There you go. There's your patch notes, chat. We're finally done with the patches. I apologize for how long that took, chat. That was a journey, but we did it. We are through the patch notes, and I can finally get to the game. Battle Pass. Got my Battle Pass tier skip because of my drops I got from my own stream. Apparently I only got 3. Give me a second here, chat, because it's time. I got to go to the shop. I got to go to the Mythic shop. I'm doing this right now. I'm unlocking all the levels. We're doing it, chat. I got it. We got the Mythic Diva. So give me 1 second here. We're going to go in and we're going to check it out. This is the effects. I'll put the effects on. You can turn the effects off. That's okay. And then owned. I got to go with the mask, right? The mech. I just got to go with the upgraded mech. I mean, it adds all the stuff there. And then the color scheme. This is important here. I mean, that's pretty cool. This looks the best with the galactic weapon. Yeah, this one looks pretty cool, but I'm leaning towards this one. They both look cool. And then I can get the iridescent one eventually if I wanted, which would look kind of cool too. Iridescent looks nice. I'll just start with this one. We'll just see how it looks. This is what it sounds like when you left-click, chat. Does that look different on, like, the left-click in general, how it works? Isn't the left-click usually just, like, a center? That is way different than I'm used to on that. That's cool. Yeah, the bullet trails, yeah. They're different. I think the spread is the same. I think it's... This is a defense matrix. Okay, I mean, the effects look great. gonna fly around. Oh, I love that. It just looks cool. And then if I emote right here, you ready? Wait, did I hear that? It made like a, did you hear that sound when I remeked? I just realized that. The mythic weapon here is very intriguing to me, chat. So, like, just to show you what it... Where's the... Look at that. Heck, I'm gonna buy it. You know what? I have so many mythic prisms right now. That's already fun for me. Just this alone is fun for me. I can just scroll wheel this. I'm just scroll wheeling right now, chat. This is just scroll wheel. I like the sound. Sounds good. You can hear it a little bit there. I gotta get the effects going, so maybe I need to add, like... Oh, the map looks great so far. I agree. But yeah, I like the way it looks. It's just this alone. If you get the premium battle pass, I'll probably have to... I'll buy it here in a second. You get the Reinhardt skin. See? The Reinhardt 8-bit right at the beginning. Number 2 is the icon. 3 is this cool name card. Number 4 is a That's Rad highlight. I didn't even see that till now. Okay. All right, Overwatch team. I see you. All right. They know their memes. They know their memes. Okay, I'm in. I am in on that one. Oh, man. If anybody understands the reference, that's so good. That was perfect. Level 5, you get that. Premium, you get a loot box. 7 is a coin collect victory pose. That's nice. Mythic prisms. The weapon charm, that's cute. And then Overwatch coins at level 10, level 11. Okay, I got to admit, so far, this has been pretty cool. Okay, you got the Arcade Groove. Patch of Preppy. Souvenir. Overwatch Academy, what was that? Spray. You got the Deadlock Club name card. You get coins. A Cole icon.
Let me teach you a lesson.
Freya voice line. Premium, obviously, prisms.
Memory? Yeah, just download more.
Chad, did you hear that voice line?
Out of memory? Yeah, just download more.
They went meme heavy on this one. Cassidy, the Delinquent Cole at level 20. That's on a premium track. 21 is the Junkrat victory pose, tinkering with stuff. There you go.
I don't play games. I win them.
I respect that. Junker Queen. Junkrat spray at 23 there. Junkrat icon, level 24. 25 is icon. Coins. 26 is a tassel. A tick and clock name card. Prisms. 8-bit harmony spray. Professor Junkrat over here at level 30. Coin collect on Rhine as an emote. There you go. 8-bit spray Reinhardt. Victory pose Ana. 34 is a player icon. Premium credits and something else there at level 35. Loot box at level 36. This is on the free track. So at 36, you'll get the legendary Pachamari icon right there. Mythic prisms. 8-bit crown. 8-bit Orisa skin. Okay, listen. I don't play a ton of Orisa, but that looks pretty cool. I love the animation. Level 41 is a victory pose Shut-Eye Cassidy. Level 42. Winnable, I like that. On Diva, 43 is an icon. 44 is a Sakura emblem for Ana for 43 and 44. 45 is a coins. 46. Game over. Yep, Wrecking Ball saying game over. Game over, man. Game over. Harangue at level at 47 here. The name card. Mythic Prisms at 48. 49 is coins. And then 500 is a Sakura Ana skin. So there you go, chat. At level 50, people have been asking about this one. It is on the Battle Pass, this one. I know some people asked if it was going to be like shop or not. This is a Battle Pass one. Level 51 is the coin collect victory pose for Orisa. 52 is the 8-bit Sombra. 53 is the 8-bit virus spray. 8-bit Sombra name card. Credits. Premium. Ayari icon. 57 is a spray for 8-bit Amari. Mythic Prism coins. Do the Math voice line. And then the 8-bit Sombra skin. You'll probably not see this either A, because Sombra is invisible, or B, because Sombra's being hero banned. One of the two. Level 61 is the highlight intro for Junkrat. Level 62, you're in? Heck yeah. Is the Diva icon. 63 is Digital Harmony for Zenyatta. 64 is Student Weapon Charm. 65 is the coins. 66 is 8-bit Zenyatta. 67 is Low Polygon. So a lot of 8-bit icons. 68 is Mythic Prism. 69 is a Yari spray. 70 is a 8-bit Zenyatta skin. I like the 8-bit skins. They look nice. They look cool. They look cool. 71 is the Academy Seal. 72 is the Deadlock Club spray.
Wait.
Or
we had homework?
I love that one. 73 is the voice line. The 8-bit Genji one. 75 is credits. 76 you get the legendary loot box. Then you get the 8-bit spray. A lot of cool, like, 8-bit stuff. Premium at 78 for the Mythic. 79 and that. And then the level 81 is the 8-bit Genji right here. Looks cool. I'm a fan of the 8-bit skins. It has a very cool, like... I like the 8-bit. It's just a very, like, chill, like... I don't know how to explain it. I love the arcade vibe. It's just a vibe I've liked. So, there you go. Okay. Then for the Mythic Shop... Not the Mythic Shop. The premium... level 85 title is Retro Gamer. Level 95 is Teacher's Pet. Level 105 is Fragile Flower. Level 115 is Min-Maxer. That's like Stadium Legend Qs. 130 is Bad Apple. 150 is Fleetin' Beauty. 175 is Smarty Pants. And level 200 is Noob. That came out, I did not expect that one at all. That one just hit. Just Noob. That's it, just Noob.
It's finna human.
Oh, man. All right. There you go, chat. It's all right. I'm catching up. My YouTube like alerts are like, wow, my YouTube stuff is all like scuffed right now. Holy crap. There you go, chat. That is it. So that is your battle pass. We looked at everything. Shop is the ultimate battle pass bundle, the premium battle pass, all this stuff. Cold Ramen, they give you the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. And there you go, chat. So there is your... Oh, and then the Overwatch like bundle here with all like the Overwatch Academy. So there's your Juno skin. I know people were concerned there was no Juno Akiriko skin. Don't you worry, it is in the shop. So you can get it all here. Got the instructor ones and then that. So there is your stuff. What are the No, there's your emote on Juno. There's your... a donut break. And a strictly business soldier. That's pretty much all you do on Soldier 76 anyway, especially in Stadium with some of those builds. All right, there you go. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, is it me or did like... This is a really fun season of, like, skins and emotes. Again, I'm not going to say whether they're, like, you know, best they've ever, like, but more like they're just a fun season of them. It feels like they kind of were just kind of doing, it was like, you know what, just have some fun with some memes. Make it very meme heavy.